Magical Sparks, welcome back to my channel. It's Sparkle here, and today we have a very fun video. There's going to be unboxing and drawing, but just before that I want to do some reorganizing. So as you can tell right now, my desk has a very nice minimalistic setup, which I love, but I do want to change things up a tiny bit by bringing back the old full crowded aesthetic setup. So we're going to be doing just that. There's just something I love for no reason when it comes to surrounding myself with very colorful things. I don't know, it's just something I love. Also, make sure to keep watching so that when we do reach the special emoji of today's video, you can comment it down below. And while we keep reorganizing, I do want to share a very fun story with you guys. So this is the third time this has happened, and I'll tell you what it is. It's pretty much where I found out about my subscribers and that we kind of like knew each other, sort of, in a way. Let me explain. The very first time it happened, I found out that my friend's sister actually watched my channel and commented, but at that time I didn't know it was her sister, so that happened. The second time it happened was my friend's sister as well. She apparently watches my channel, and I was shocked to find out when my friend told me. And it happened again for the third time when my mom's friend found her daughter watching my channel as well, and I was so shocked when I found that out. Because the thing is, each of these people don't actually know that they know me in real life. They just like watch me on YouTube, but then somehow we found out that we're like sort of connected in real life, which is so crazy. But thank you to all these people. You're all so sweet, amazing, and I love you all. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that lovely story, because now we are officially finished with decorating my desk. Or should I say redecorating it, bringing it back to the way that it initially was about 2 or 3 months ago. Anyways, my question now is, how long can I keep it this way until I suddenly feel inspired to redecorate it again? Let's find out in 2024. Now, on a different note, I recently received this gift from Arrtx. I believe it's called the Annual Influencer Gift Box, and they sent it to me, and I thought I would share the unboxing process with you guys. So starting it off, the package was really heavy and the box itself looked so beautiful. As you can see, it has a lot of depth, and I was actually kind of curious to see what was inside. But starting it off, let's just acknowledge the beautiful packaging and all the details that are on this box, because it's truly so pretty just by itself, just the box alone. But now let's see what's inside. Not just the box, but even the way the box opens was pretty cool. And now here's what we have inside. I was truly so shocked at that very moment. I literally had a smile on my face because I was not expecting any of this at all, and I was just really astonished by their kind gesture. And now let's have a look at what exactly came inside the box. As you can see, the very first thing I picked up was this acrylic marker set, which is actually the same one Arrtx sent me the last time I reviewed their products, and it works amazing. The second thing I saw was this adorable cat thing with an adorable little paw print at the bottom of it. See, at that time I didn't know what it was, right? And you can't blame me, because I genuinely couldn't figure out what it was. But let me explain to you exactly how my brain works. I look at it, it's shiny, it's cute, it's colorful, and I love it. So even though I didn't have the slightest idea of what it was or what it could be, I already loved it the second I saw it. Anyways, moving on, the next thing we have is this washi tape set and this beautiful floral calendar, which we will unbox later. It was also quite heavy because obviously there's a lot of pages inside it. And then we have this sketch marker pad. I haven't tried this before, so we'll also be testing it out very soon. And now, drum roll please. The very last thing in this box is a letter from Arrtx. And now let's have a closer look at all of these gifts. I seriously love the packaging on this box. It's truly so beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna put this cat thing here for the aesthetic, but don't worry, in a couple of seconds I'll tell you guys exactly what it is in case you haven't already guessed. And I'm guessing a lot of you have probably guessed, even though I still hadn't figured it out until that very point in time. Now, the first thing in the letter was this amazing card with some really kind words at the back, such a beautiful letter. And the second thing was kind of like an information sheet about what exactly came in the box. And that's when I figured it out. This adorable cat thing is actually a bookmark. And now that I know exactly what it is, it seems like it was so obvious the entire way through, and I was just like, how did I not figure that out? Anyways, I wanted to open up the flower calendar next, and I was so shocked because it was so beautiful. There were like different flowers on every page of 2024, like all the days of 2024, and I think you can actually rip the pages out as well. There's also a stand at the back, so it is self-standing, and it's so pretty. I absolutely love it so much. And the next thing we have in the package is this washi tape set. It's actually a set of washi tapes and some, I think, scrapbooking kind of cards and stickers. So let's start it off by looking at the beautiful washi tape. And now the next thing we're going to look at are these, I think, decorative sheets and stickers, and they are just so pretty. So let's just take another second to acknowledge their beauty and elegance. I seriously love all of these so much. They are like on a whole other level of aesthetic and beautiful, and I mean, I just love it. Okay, moving on, we have this marker pad. I think like a sketch marker pad. We're gonna test that out, but before that, here is my previous acrylic marker set, and here is my new one. Let's open up the new one and test it out. Last time I tested out these markers on white paper, so this time I thought let's swatch them on black paper and see how they look. So the very first thing inside the box, same as last time, we have these stickers you can add on the markers, and this time I decided to just jump straight in and start swatching. Now here's the annoying thing that happened. I actually recorded myself coloring these hearts close up for all the colors, but turns out I actually didn't record myself because I forgot to click the record button, which is kind of annoying, but that's totally fine because we can just refilm it and get just a tiny bit more satisfaction with these even closer shots. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. And with that, we have finished swatching all the colors, and honestly, ever since I was a young child who got my first ever metallic marker set, I have always loved metallic markers because they are just so satisfying and so much fun to use. I then went ahead and experimented with the sketch marker pad, and then I kind of physically moved my sketchbook to the side. I pushed it aside because today we are going to be making a drawing similar to this one. So this is the one where I turn fruits into humans, and today I wanted to turn berries into humans, which I know you guys probably already know because you read the title of the video, but still, it's just fun to announce these things. So I went ahead and I pushed my sketchbook to the side, and I got out this A4 drawing pad with some thick, I think it's 220 GSM paper, and now we are ready to draw. Well, almost. I'll tell you what we're doing now. So yes, we are going to be drawing, but before that, I want to show you guys exactly what kind of berries I have in mind for today's video. So the very first berry is a raspberry, and guess what? This paper is so cool because the marker did not bleed through to the other side, which is really cool. And it also means that I don't have to use like a protective sheet to protect my desk from getting marker stains on it, which, you know what? Who wouldn't love that? Anyways, here's my quick rough drawing of a raspberry, and yes, I made it a little bit pink on purpose because I like that. And now the next thing I'm going to be drawing, the next berry, is a cloudberry. I only recently found out about this berry, but I think the name and the bubbly kind of look that it has is just so adorable, and I just like it a lot. And the last berry we're going to be drawing is called a gooseberry. So this is like a green berry. It pretty much looks like a grape, but I guess maybe it isn't. Anyways, here's how it looks. And now that we have got all our berries out and drawn, before I went ahead and did my final drawing, I wanted to do just a tiny bit more planning. So here's that. You don't have to read it if you don't want to, but this just kind of helped me to get my thoughts out. These were just ideas of things I could do. I didn't end up doing them all, but it kind of just gave me a sense of direction. And now it's time to start working on our very last final finished illustration. Well, let's see, that is if everything goes well. If not, then this won't be the final drawing. But no spoilers, because let's see how exactly this goes. So this year I attempted a similar challenge twice. The very first time was when I turned fruits into humans, and in that video somehow everything did end up going pretty good. I didn't do too much like over planning, but it ended up working out. The second time around I tried turning flowers into humans, and that video was a bit chaotic. If you watch that video, you will see just how chaotic and oddly stressing that it was. And during the voiceover I gave myself feedback about how I could do this challenge next time, I said a couple of things like maybe separate the 3 drawings because that takes away a bit of pressure, because that way I wouldn't have to focus on making their color palettes or dress designs line up. I also told myself not to subconsciously limit myself by drawing 3 characters next to each other because that kind of limits you on space and sometimes maybe poses as well. Maybe that applies to you because it kind of does apply to me. And thirdly, I told myself to look at the name of the actual thing. For example, if it is a cloudberry, think about clouds, not just looking at the color of the berry. And yes, I did say those things. I did give myself that advice if I were to do this challenge all over again. But today I refused to listen to myself because last time I was having such a hard time, and this time I was determined to do the same thing but to do things differently. I'm not going to make the same mistakes I made last time. I'm going to draw however I want. I'm not going to restrict myself, but I'm going to have 3 characters next to each other. That was my mindset going into this. Now let's see just how well it works out, because I am quite literally not listening to my own feedback, so let's see. I was kind of initially thinking whether I should just do this challenge in my sketchbook and maybe just like give each character their own page and, you know, take up 3 pages for this video. But then I thought, like, you know, what's the fun in that? Like, I really want to challenge myself, and maybe I'll do it that way next time. Maybe I'll have 3 separate pages for them next time. But this time I was in the mood to challenge myself, and I am a person who follows their heart. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. This girl is following her heart, and hopefully the drawing does not end up getting ruined. But we'll see. Just make sure you don't skip till the end, because then you'll find out too quickly. Make sure to keep watching. And also, if you have made it this far into the video, then make sure to comment this emoji down below because you are truly amazing. Anyways, and now I think it is time for me to kind of explain my thought process behind these character designs. So first off, on the left we have our raspberry, in the middle we have our cloudberry, and on the right side we have our gooseberry. Now starting it off with our raspberry, I was trying to find some meaning in the name, but I wasn't exactly sure what rasp means, like in that context. So anyways, I went ahead and I focused more on the actual look of raspberries, and usually they kind of fluctuate between like pinkish to reddish colors from what I've seen, and when it comes to advertising raspberry flavors, they are typically mainly a pink color from what I've seen, a pinkish reddish color. So I decided to go with that. I decided to give the character a skirt that kind of incorporates pink and a bit of like a reddish darkish pink color, and with her top I wanted to give her some polka dots, and I just gave her a bow because I thought it would be nice and cute. And now with our second character, our cloudberry character. So for the character in the middle, my initial idea was kind of simple, but what it was to pretty much just give her a nice oversized sweater that kind of has a gradient that goes from yellow to orange, and to have like a cute little cloud symbol in the middle. That was my plan, but then I thought maybe I could try something a tiny bit different and kind of like, I don't know, just think a bit more creatively. So I decided to kind of give her this dress and a jacket. So the dress is going to be light yellow because the majority of the cloudberry is mainly a yellowish color, and then on the cardigan or like jacket, it's going to be like a bit of a pattern that has both yellow and orange on it. Now I do have a bit more to say, but just before that, once I finished the line art, I went ahead and I scanned the drawing just in case, because I thought having a backup plan is definitely much more better than not having a backup plan. So yeah, that's why, and I'm pretty happy that I made that decision. Anyways, this was pretty much all I could get up to in one day with all that drawing. I was fairly tired, so I decided to go ahead and find a nice place for this cat bookmark on my desk, and then I came back the next day to start coloring. And while I'm coloring, I do have a couple of things to say. The very first thing is that no, I did not draw a cloud on the design of the cloudberry character. See, in my defense, at that moment in time, I kind of felt like drawing a cloud on the dress might just look a tiny bit weird and like out of place. But now that I'm thinking about it, it would have been so perfect if I gave the jacket like a cloud pattern. That would have been so perfect. And the thing is, I didn't think of it at that time, but now that I'm thinking about it, I really wish I had done that. Oh well, what to do? It's a bit too late to go back and fix it up right now, so let's just work with what we've got. But let's look at the positives. A, on the bright side, the hair looks really nice and fluffy, almost like a cloud. And B, I think it was a good idea to give the character a kind of leaf crown because it matches quite well with the drawing that we made before, because some gooseberries do have leaves attached to them, and I think this worked out pretty well. Also, correction, I meant to say cloudberry, not gooseberry. My bad. All these berries all end with berries and it's kind of confusing, but yeah, I meant to say cloudberries. Okay, now moving on to the gooseberry. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, for the gooseberry, I could have drawn a goose, but that's not what I thought at that point in time. I'm getting so many ideas right now, but it's kind of frustrating because I can't like go and implement them unless I try and redraw this drawing. That would be pretty cool. Or unless I printed out the scan. Okay, anyways, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to what I was talking about, the gooseberry. So my main focus for the gooseberry character was the color green. So yes, I did have color focuses for the other characters, but with this one, I wanted it to be just a tiny bit more specific. For example, instead of something like red and pink or orange and yellow, I wanted it to be green. And just green. So I pretty much went ahead and I shaded the jacket with a bunch of different greens, and if you search it up, you'll see how a gooseberry kind of has like a bit of a vein kind of pattern on it with like light green color, and I wanted to kind of mimic that. So what I did was I shaded the jacket with a couple of dark greens, and then I took a light marker to kind of add a bit of details and give it that kind of effect and kind of mimic that vein-like look, but with a tiny bit more of a pattern to it. Anyways, you'll see what I mean very, very soon. And that is my thought process explained, or the majority of it. Okay, so it's really weird because when I finished this drawing, I felt like really proud of it and really happy about it. But here's the thing, now that I'm like editing it and looking at it again with a different perspective, I suddenly have so many more ideas of things I could have incorporated or things I could have done differently. And it's really weird, but I kind of wish I could like go back in time and like try all the different possibilities and experiment with my crazy ideas. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And maybe I could try redrawing this or coloring in the version that I scanned before in the future, but we'll see. Right now, I am fairly satisfied with how this drawing turned out. And at the very end of this video, after you see this drawing as well, let me know what you think in the comments below. When it came to this drawing, for some reason, I let myself take as much time as I wanted, and because of that, it just felt so relaxing. Like I wasn't rushing myself to get it done or to get it finished or anything like that. I just let myself work at my own pace, and it was genuinely so satisfying. I was kind of like romanticizing the entire process of working on this drawing because it was just so nice and chill. I had some instrumental Disney music playing in the background, and I loved it. It was just such a nice, relaxing kind of vibe. Also, I did consider making this drawing kind of more red based, but then I changed my mind because I just wanted it to be pink, and I like pink, and yeah, we're going with pink. So that's that. I also had such a hard time deciding the pant color for this character, but in the end I went with a nice dark green just to match that kind of monochromatic color scheme. At this point in time, it does seem like the drawing is coming together quite well, but honestly, the hair can either make it or break it when you're drawing characters, so I was very careful and I made sure to start off with some nice light colors, because if I start with a light color and I want it to be darker, I can obviously make it darker, but if I start with a dark color and I want it to be lighter, that's when things become a tiny bit difficult. So like in a way, I guess I was kind of using my markers like I would use my watercolors by working from light to dark, which was also pretty fun. I can also see a really big difference when it comes to how I color hair compared to this time last year. Like my method last year was so different to my method this year, and I kind of like this year's method because it's really like simple and it's a tiny bit more quick, and I just like it a lot. I also think it looks pretty cool, and it kind of varies with each drawing, which kind of gives it a sense of uniqueness. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And now it's time for some satisfying close-up shots, and I think we all know what that means because that means we're reaching the end of this video's drawing drawing process. Also, I do want to send out a really big thank you to Arrtx for sending me this wonderful gift box. I genuinely loved it so much. It was such a kind gesture, and everything in the box was absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and I loved it so much. I also hope you guys enjoyed this video where we turned berries into humans, just trying something different. And if you have any more ideas of things we could turn into humans, make sure to comment them down below. Also want to send out a big shout out to my mom, because she's the one who actually gave me this idea and helped me pick the berries to go with. I love this idea and it was so much fun. Anyways guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you think about the drawing. And now here is the inspiration that we started with and the rough brainstorm that we started with versus what we got. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. Stay awesome as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye!